Hello everybody, we are Team 9. And today we want to enable food corporations to prove why their supply chain is actually sustainable. This is Jerry. Jerry had a bad experience a couple of weeks ago on the San Francisco street market. He bought salmon there, thinking it was fresh and sourced directly from Norway. A couple of days later, he found out the product was sent out to China first to get its bones picked. Jerry is a loyal Whole Foods customer, but after his experience at the market, he starts doubting the supply chain of Whole Foods. He boasts about having a sustainable supply chain, but how can they prove it to him? Jerry would like to have more insight on where the products are sourced from, what the processing looks like, what countries the product goes through, what the recycled materials are, etc. For Whole Foods, this creates a major problem concerning their credibility. Indeed, it's easy to say, but hard to prove. Our blockchain solution will enable them to display the sustainability of their supply chain to their customers. We will sell a B2B software license to food retailers, which will include generated QR codes. Customers will be able to scan the code in-store, which will give them the overview of the whole supply chain concerning that specific product, including information about the CO2 emissions, labor force, where the product was processed, and what countries it went through on its way to the store. Let's say a sun-dried tomato has to move from a farmer to a Whole Foods store. The farmer will sell 10,000 tomatoes for $2,000 to the processing company, which will then sell the tomatoes at $3,000 to the logistics company. Finally, those tomatoes will be bought by Whole Foods for $4,000. As demonstrated with our software, Whole Foods will be able to track the movement of the tomato along the supply chain and show it to their conscious customers. However, a first issue that can occur is one actor refusing to implement the software. In order for our blockchain solution to provide value, all actors need to adopt the same system. Because Whole Foods has the absolute power over its suppliers, it should be a front-end implementation, making it possible to overcome this issue by clearly emphasizing the fact that the system will profit all actors in the supply chain with fair price, certification, decreasing food waste, recognition by the customer, credibility, digitalization of demand planning, effectiveness of communication, reduced overhead cost, and finally, increased transparency and tracking. The other problem is that different actors have conflicting interests. And like any conflict, it is about money and power. Since our blockchain solution increases transparency along the supply chain, it gives suppliers a deeper insight into all processes a product goes through. As currently Whole Foods is the big boss, this might limit their power. On the other hand, their market segment of conscious customers will increase as Whole Foods now has the ability to actually prove their products are sourced sustainably and benefit its triple bottom line. To illustrate our solution, prior to using blockchain, Walmart conducted a traceback test on mangoes in one of its stores. It took 6 days, 18 hours, and 26 minutes to trace mangoes back to its original farm. By using blockchain, it was able to provide it in 2.2 seconds. Also, to our surprise, while we thought the biggest food waste happened at consumption, we realized when conducting research that it was actually happening during production, handling, and processing. This creates an immense opportunity to make supply chains more efficient and significantly decrease costs. We firmly believe that our blockchain solution can be beneficial to both parties, food retailers and conscious customers. Customers will have a deeper insight into the supply chain of large corporations, which will instill trust into those corporations and will ultimately attract more customers to that specific food brand. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed it.